Ever been so stressed out that your brain just shut down? You couldn't think, couldn't focus, couldn't even form a sentence. Everyone feels this way from time to time. For some children, this isn't an occasional feeling, it's something they can experience more frequently. So why do we see these moments as bad behaviour instead of what they really are? Communication. Emotions aren't good or bad, they just are. But some people experience them more intensely than others and struggle to cope with them. For some children, emotions can be felt so strongly that they become overwhelming. And when that happens, their brain and body react, sometimes in ways that look like bad behaviour. But it's not. It's something called dysregulation. We often tell children to use their words or calm down, but what if they physically can't in that moment? When a child is dysregulated, their brain shifts into survival mode. Fight, flight, or freeze. Logical thinking shuts down and emotions take over, affecting how we think and what we do. Instead of expecting them to snap out of it, we need to recognise what's happening and support them through it.
So when we talk about emotional regulation, it's a skill that children and young people develop during their early childhood. And emotional regulation starts off with being able to actually just be able to label or recognise emotions that a person is feeling. Once a child's able to develop the right language of being able to label or name their emotions, they're then able to think about what do I do when I'm feeling that way. And that's generally what we tend to think about when we talk about emotional regulation, is what do I do when I'm feeling sad, angry, happy. It's a skill that develops throughout a young person's childhood and really requires the adults or the people around them to support them in being able to find the right ways and the most helpful ways of being able to manage their emotions.
Think of emotional regulation like a window. It's called the window of tolerance. Inside it, we feel safe and can manage our feelings. But when we're pushed outside of it, we either go into hyperarousal, panic, anger or distress, or hypoarousal, shutting down completely. For some children, their window of tolerance is often smaller, meaning they reach overwhelm much faster. That's why understanding their triggers and supporting regulation is so important. So how do we help? First, by co-regulating, staying calm ourselves to help them feel safe.
Sitting with her, being with her, trying to calm whatever it is that's going on in her, and that's not with language, that is literally being with. It can turn then language, but not too many words, a kind of bringing back in, so she's calmed out of that I need to do whatever it is, strip off, run, collapse, shout, scream, that kind of thing. So you're with her, she's kind of back in it, back in the zone, and it is then a kind of connection, I suppose.
Co-regulation can also include sensory supports, like a quiet space or deep pressure activities, and teaching children ways to express their emotions safely. And most importantly, we need to validate children's feelings, because no emotion is wrong, it's just a signal that something is happening inside.
It's really important when a child is emotionally dysregulated to try to actually validate how they're feeling and really try and show a level of curiosity to find out what their emotional experience is like. Because once a child feels that they're kind of being understood or why they might be with help understand why they're feeling the way that they're feeling, that's starting to develop their emotional regulation skills. And some things to bear in mind when responding is to kind of have a really calming voice, kind of use appropriate eye contact, and just kind of really listen to what your child might be either saying verbally, but also what their behaviour might be saying, and what they might need from you in that moment to support them.
Emotions aren't something to control, they're something to understand. And when we sit alongside children with their feelings, instead of punishing them for having them, we help them build the skills they need to regulate and relate well to other people.